Tracy Glass, and this is my organizational diagnosis project. Okay, this is an outline for my presentation. First will be the introduction. I will discuss which organization I decided to use for my project. The method, I will discuss who I asked in the organization and the method in which I administered the survey. My results, I'll discuss the results of the survey. Recommendations, I'll go through any of the recommendations after reviewing all of my results, and conclusions, just showing my thoughts on the survey. For my project, I have decided to diagnose my employer, the Thomas Holding Company, which is the corporate office for the Thomas dealerships. There are 5 dealerships, which include the Thomas Chevrolet Subaru in Bedford, Thomas Team Honda in Johnstown, Thomas GMC Buick, also in Johnstown, Thomas Hyundai Subaru in Cumberland, Maryland, and All Things Automotive in McConnellsburg. In the company, I am a junior staff accountant, also a business accounting manager, which I short for BAM, for All Things Automotive dealership. My typical day actually includes I specifically do cash management for all the dealerships with the side of the BAM for the All Things Automotive dealership, and that includes doing bank reconciliations for the accounts for the dealerships and the holding company, doing daily cash balancing, entering invoices, and finalize car deals, and many other duties. Method for my survey. I decided to ask my coworkers in the accounting department, and in our Bedford office there are a total of 10 employees, 2 in HR, our controller, 2 senior staff accountants, 2 BAMs, 1 for Honda and the other for Subaru Hyundai, and accounts receivable and accounts payable. I also asked the BAM for the Chevy Subaru dealership and the GMC Buick dealership, and also the office manager from the All Things Automotive dealership. I also found from each of them that a couple, they actually do not have degrees, which is some schooling in accounting, but not an actual degree, but they still are able to complete their job. There is one that has a bachelor's in finance, one a bachelor's degree in business management, and then there are a few that have their bachelor's degree in accounting. Since each of us are busy throughout our day, and there are a few that are not in our same office, I use some training that we have recently received from a website called lynda.com when our company upgraded our Microsoft Office to the latest software. We have the most recent Office 365. And when we switched to that, there were some new features that we all wanted to make sure that we were up to date with. So we were able to go on and do different trainings through the lynda.com to learn more about the Office 365. One of the new features was the forums, and this is what I used to complete the survey. All I did was enter each question online into the forum, and whenever I finished that, I actually just emailed the link to each of my coworkers and put a little note in with the link asking them to complete the survey. I included the documentation about the confidentiality, and then the best part about using forms through Office 365, I was able to automatically export my results straight into Excel. So I was able to, as soon as I pulled up Excel, I was able to manipulate all my information to make it easier to compile all of my results. And here are my results. For the purpose category, we received 2.76. In structure, it was 2.62. Leadership, 2.76. Relationship, 2.34. Rewards, 3.64. Couple mechanism, 2.24. And attitude toward change at 2.84. I also included a little graph showing each category with the results. My recommendation. None of the categories hit a 4 or above. Rewards was the closest, and to be honest, I do not know a way to have a better reward system with our company. Honestly, a few times a month we do have company lunches. We don't always sit together, but we still will have pizza one day, or we'll get a Subway platter. We do have like birthday lunches and work anniversary lunches. That's an extra reward for us. But we have had where we just came in, and if we were having a hard month end, our controller decided to would have a company lunch for all of us for our hard work. And to be honest, because of the type of work that we are doing with accounting, I'm not 100% sure how we could implement a better reward system. A way that we could do, or something we could do, is we could actually, every so often, we will have someone that there are different reports that we have to do. There's a budget report, there's advertising, sales reports, and sometimes someone will find a faster, easier way for everyone to be able to complete one of our reports. And what we could do is acknowledge who the employee was that found a better way to do a report, and have them explain what they did. And maybe to take it a step further, if one of the employees did find a way to improve, say, a report of being able to get it done faster and easier, maybe that employee could get their own lunch instead of a company-wide lunch. They could get their own special lunch, or maybe get coffee from Starbucks. We didn't have any get into the ones, but I did have the helpful mechanisms, and the relationships they were still relatively close to getting it into the ones. And I will say that the relationships within our office, at least, we're all very close. We are able to, if we have a problem or need help, all we have to do is ask. Everyone, as long as they are able to help, everyone's very willing to help in any way, shape, or form. So that is always a great thing to have within an office setting. And for 10 women to work together, the majority of us, for the most of the time, get along. For a conclusion, I really did enjoy completing this project. However, I did not actually take in consideration the lack of support from some of the coworkers. I was lucky enough that I was able to speak to the majority of my coworkers in my actual office. So I did know that they were all willing to help with my project, especially when I told them that this was my last class, and I explained that I had 2 assignments left, and this was it, and this was one of them, and after that I was completely done, and under a month I was graduating. So they were all the ones that I spoke to were more than willing to help me out, which made me very happy. the ones that I didn't get to talk to, I still had a few of them. I know I had a few of them still help, so that was also very, very generous of them. I did send out 12 to 13 emails, and I did actually only have 8 complete the survey. This honestly could have been my fault, not thinking that some would be worried about our supervisor seeing the actual survey. It was not until after I sent the surveys out that I was asked if the controller would actually see each individual survey. This actually was because one person did hear that she was actually interested in seeing the results. That way we could look at what possibly needed fixed. And had I known that everyone was worried about the controller seeing each survey, I would have explained better that no, there in no way, shape, or form would she have seen the actual surveys, but I would have just shown her the totals and the averages of each category. So that way she wouldn't have known that one person said they were strongly dissatisfied with a question on leadership or relationships. They would have just seen, rewards where the problem was a 4, but we only got a 3.84 or a 3.64. I mean, so there's not huge problems. We could use some improvement there. And I also wonder if the email got lost in the shuffle by the time everyone would have gone back to their computers. And this I could have fixed by sending in a reminder. The actual result did not completely surprise me. I do feel that the Thomas Company is a very nice company to work for. I haven't had many major problems. Many of it's just been trying to make deadlines that are just every month things. And I will say that, of course, there's always room for improvement. So looking at this survey, I do feel there are some things that we could improve on, but nothing to be completely worried about that there's a huge problem. So that always is a plus, and that makes me happy. And that would make my supervisor happy also. So that was my presentation. Thank you for listening and looking at my slides, and I look forward to receiving feedback.